Good afternoon. Jamal Idris, immediate past president, member since 2010, Classification Consulting International. It's my honor to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Kari Schuh, director of the WANIC, the Washington Network for Innovation, Careers, Skill Center, and Visionary leader, and a career and technical education. With over 25 years in public education, Dr. Schuh has been a driving force in expanding hands-on, real-world learning opportunities that prepare students for both college and career success. Since taking the helm at the WANIC in 2020, she has launched 9 new Skill Center programs tailored to students' interests and industry needs. I wonder why we don't have more. Dr. Schuh earned her doctorate in educational leadership from the Washington State University, where her research explored how early exposure and supportive environment influence the STEM experience for female students of color. Her long list of credentials, including a superintendent credentials, principal certification, and CTE director certification, reflects her steadfast dedication to education equity and innovation. Raised across the US and abroad, Dr. Schuh attended 18 schools before finishing school, including a period spent living in Saudi Arabia, where her dad worked in the oil industry with Aramco, and her mom was driving trucks also in the oil industry in Alaska. So imagine traveling back and forth between Alaska and Saudi Arabia and the US. She now splits her time between her apartment in Kirkland and her home in Orcas Island, where she enjoys gathering, gardening, book club, concert, and spending time with friends. You can read her full bio in our digital bulletin. Please join me in giving Dr. Kari Schuh a very warm Rotary welcome. Kari.
Thank you very much for that nice introduction, Jamal. Jamal and I met a few years back when he invited me to the MAPS Iftar in Redmond. So we made a little connection, had some things in common, and here I am today. So I'm going to start out by first asking you some questions, and then we'll go from there, because I'll get a little read of the room. How many of you have heard of skill centers? Okay, so maybe about a quarter. How many of you have heard of WANIC Skill Center? Not very many. All right, well, you're going to hear today. How many of you are in an industry where you're worried about the next generation coming to fill the spots that are going to be vacated? Okay, well, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Let's see if I can make this happen. All right. Oh, all right. So here we are. WANIC is a skill center. We're one of 17 in the state. There are 14 main branch skill centers and 3 main skill centers and 3 branch campuses. And I like to say WANIC is the weirdest one of the bunch, which suits my personality. We have what's called a distributive model. WANIC is not on one campus. We have programs spread out over 1,000 square miles, and you're going to hear about that. We provide advanced CTE, and CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. Raise your hand if you remember vocational education. We don't say that anymore. We say CTE, and CTE is raising the bar. We expect CTE to be high demand, high wage, high skill programs that align with industry demands. And we are looking for skills gaps out there where the industry needs the next generation to fill those jobs or to go on to post-secondary and learn even deeper. Currently, we have 22 Skill Center programs in 10 locations. And when students come to us, they earn 3 credits. They come for 3 periods out of their school day. They need a travel period, and then they go back to their home high school to earn their basic credits. So, for example, their history credit or their AP calculus or whatever it is they need to fill their little credit bucket. This is the map of our, oh boy, that is not very good. This is the map, it looks great here, of our area. Again, it's 1,000 square miles. We have 7 school districts that participate in our consortium. So a long time ago, long before me, these school districts got together. We used to be called NEVAC. Some of you might remember that time, which meant Northeast Vocational Area Cooperative. Again, we don't use vocational anymore. In 2011, some funding was provided to put an office and several programs in at Lake Washington Technical Institute. So that's where our main offices are, and that's where the mothership and the brains are, and this brain here. So our participating school districts are North Shore, Lake Washington, Bellevue, Mercer Island, Issaquah, Snoqualmie Valley, and Riverview. So you can see even more all the programs that we offer at all these various sites. So up in Woodinville, we have a nursing program. In Bothell, we have automotive tech, baking and pastry, building industry tech core plus. In Interlake High School in Bellevue, right here, we have building industry tech core plus, maritime welding. We have automotive tech 1 and 2. And at Sammamish High School, we have another nursing program. At Newport High School, we have Cisco Networking and Culinary Arts 1 and 2. And new, coming up next year, I'm really excited to be offering an aerospace manufacturing program at Liberty High School, almost all the way down in Renton. And then we offer sports medicine at Issaquah High School. And then at our main campus at Lake Washington Technical Institute, we offer several health careers. So we have dental careers 1 and 2, fire and EMS 1 and 2, health science nursing 1 and 2, medical careers, and then most recently, 2 years ago, I added an aviation tech program. It was my dream to do that. My daughter is a private pilot and somehow roped me into buying an airplane and a hangar on Orcas Island, and so little did I know that someday I might be in the class watching and learning to get my private license. We also have partnered years and years and years with DigiPen. How many of you have heard DigiPen? Yeah. So kids can go to the DigiPen programs through WANIC for free. You know how much DigiPen costs to go to college? It's a lot of money. And if they do really well in some of our programs, DigiPen will give them half off the price to continue to go to college there after they graduate from high school. So we have art and animation 1 and 2, game design, music and sound design 1 and 2, and video game programming. So our programs, as I've mentioned, are open to 11th and 12th graders for the full year programs. They have to have the right credits in their credit bucket to join in our programs. They are all preparatory career and technical education. So what I mean by preparatory is they are really taking a deep, deep dive into that curriculum and content area. They come to us for a full year, 2 semesters, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. That can be really, really hard in the dark days of winter when it's raining sideways and cold, and they have to drive themselves to get to us. That, my friends, is the biggest barrier to our programs, is the transportation issue. We have 34 different high schools that feed into these 10 different sites. And as I mentioned to Jamal, one of the things that I find really, really frustrating is I know how hard it is for students in generational poverty to get a driver's license. It costs about $600 to $800 to go through driver's ed training. Then you have to have car insurance, you gotta have a car, all the parts and pieces. You can wait till you're 18 and go get a driver's license, but there's a new law in the books that you have to wait till 24. How is that gonna impact our kids to try and get to a job? So, but that's a whole, I digress. All right, and then we also offer summer programs, which we're really proud of, and we call those exploratory career and tech ed. So they can come and get a little taste of the summer and that connects to our full year programs, maybe get excited about joining the full year programs. And we offer summer all around the region. So I guess some of the highlights for this coming summer is we have a welding program up in Bothell. This year out in Carnation, we'll be offering a restorative ecology course that will go for 6 weeks. We have a video fusion out in Duval. We have several health classes at the main core campus and a biosystems genetics research and ethics course that is so popular from the Institute of Systems Biology that oftentimes it's only seniors that get into the class. And then down in Issaquah, we'll have a culinary course, and then of course DigiPen offers their full lineup for introductory exploratory courses. They come to us for 13 days, 7 hours a day, and they earn a half a credit for free. So anybody in all those 7 districts can come and join if they're a 9th through 12th grader and get a half a credit. You can do that 4 years in a row and have 2 credits in your lineup to graduate from high school. So what do kids get? They're getting career experience. They're getting prepared for employment. They're getting prepared for college. They are getting to use state-of-the-art equipment. They are in a real-world setting. Many of our teachers are straight from industry. My fire teachers, I have about 6 of them that circulate through. They are active firefighters in Bothell and Fall City and Kirkland. Even some of our firefighter teachers are past WANIC graduates from years ago. So they've gone out there, become firefighters, and want to give back. My dental teacher was a dental assistant. My nursing teacher was an RN. Little did you know that when you're an industry person, you can come and join even a traditional high school and join and teach under career and tech ed and get a CTE certificate without having to go the route that I went and get your teacher certificate first. And then all of our classes, they earn college credits and industry certifications. So our nursing kids, they earn the NIC certification. The medical careers, the NHA certification, dental, the NELDA. They have lots and lots of different opportunities, and these are state level tests that they're taking. So this is high stakes stuff, and it opens the door for careers. And then oftentimes the kids, they find that I know my why when I come to WANIC. I know what I want to do, and when I apply to college, I'm not there to party. I'm there to take my next steps, and we have a success rate in career and technical education where kids who do go to college graduate at about 95% rates. That is not what's happening under normal circumstances. How many of you have heard of a kid that goes off to college and after their freshman year is like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm done, and they have no skills, no nothing, and a little bit of debt, or a lot, depending upon where they went. And then we also have student leadership opportunities. Career and technical education in your home high schools and at a skills center, the requirement is that you have a CTSO or a career and tech student organization associated with your pathway. And so at my skills center at the main campus, we have what's called HOSA, Health Occupation Student Association. And then we have Skills USA, we have a Family Consumer Science, we have Technology Student Associate, we have all kinds of things that kids can get involved with, and they have competitions. DECA might be something you remember, Future Business Leaders of America. These are ways for you to actually get involved because we need industry people to help judge at the students' competitive events. And I tell you what, when you see an entire room of kids dressed up to the nines in their business suits and kind of shaking in their boots, some of them freshmen to very polished seniors, and you're sitting on the other side and you're thinking, I need to hire this kid. I'm not even worthy sitting across from them. It's amazing what we do in career and technical education. All right, I don't know if you can see this. It's not very good, but one of the things that I brought in about 2 years ago when I first joined, 3 years ago now, I started to realize that we're having a problem with the soft skills. How many of you know the soft skills, right? Part of career and tech ed is we have to sit with industry people, whether it's from education or from healthcare or from computer science or manufacturing, you name it. And the industry people tell us whether we have the right equipment, whether we have the right curriculum, what it is they want to see from the kids when they move out to the next steps. But here's the universal cry. please just send us some kids that can show up on time, put their cell phone away, look me in the eye, take some direction, have initiative, can do all those things, right? So we developed the employability skills rubric. And on this rubric, we have attitude, reliability, responsibility, professionalism, initiative, respect, and integrity. And then it goes to the right from there, from needs improvement. We started out with, I can't remember what we put on there. It was something that all the teachers said, you know, if I read that as a kid, I would just quit. Yeah, it was something like, you know, it was unemployable. That was it, unemployable. I mean, apparently that would break their little spirits. But employable was the next one, and then highly sought out candidate. So we are talking to try all the time. Our teachers are using this in their classrooms to move them along the continuum. And we have an assembly coming up next week. We call it the WANIC Way to Be. And the kids nominate their classmates as to who exemplifies the workplace expectations WANIC way the most. And so that we want to reinforce all the time, because our industry people said, please, just do the soft skills. We'll do the hard stuff. Well, guess what? At WANIC, we do it all. We do the hard industry stuff and the soft skills too. And so we are pushing all the time. And I don't know about you, but a post-pandemic high schooler who is kind of lost out there, this just getting them to show up for attendance is, you know, sometimes moving a mountain. All right, that's a little video. You guys can watch it at, okay. I'm just gonna quickly go through again. I mentioned these. So we have aerospace manufacturing. They get a lab science credit and a third-year math credit. Automotive technology, we have 2 programs, one in Bothell and one here in Bellevue. They get 2 CTE credits and a lab science credit. Aviation technology, they get a math credit, a science credit, and a CTE credit. And by the way, all these have college credits too. So this aviation technology course has 45 credits with Green River Community College, which is one of our local aviation programs. Bellevue College and Lake Washington Tech and several others are ones that we have what's called articulation agreements with. How many of you heard of Running Start? All right, so your kids or your grandkids or your niece or nephew, they can go to Running Start, and guess what? You go to Running Start and you're a parent and you want to know how your kid is doing, you can't find out any information. Believe me, as a parent who is paying tuition at University of Hawaii and you know, wondering why my kid was no longer on the sailing roster, they wouldn't tell me anything that she was flunking out. Right? You come to us, you get college credits. We're going to help. We're going to communicate with your counselor and your career specialist. And we are also not going to give you any college credits going onto your transcript unless you earn a B or better. You do not get stuck with that F on your transcript for life. But the expectations are high. This is not a place for, you know, you to come and mess around. This is hard work, but we're going to lift you up and help you. Right? So, aviation tech, I guess I digressed again, sorry. Baking and pastry, they get a CTE credit and a lab science. Building industry technologies, Core Plus construction. We have one right here in Bellevue and one up in North Shore, up in Bothell. And the Bellevue one has just been approved again as a pre-apprenticeship program for the Carpenters Union. And they did all that work and they're approved for another 18 months. So kids that do that program, 2-year program, they get to waive a whole bunch of hours if they go into the apprenticeship program as a carpenter. That's huge. And I don't know about you, but when somebody comes and builds my house or does work on the house, I don't want them trained on the job, just like wearing the hammer on the belt, and like, I want them trained. And that's what we're doing at these programs. Cisco Networking Academy, they get 3 career and tech ed credits. We have Cisco Networking 1, 2, and 3. They get the networking associate, the networking professional, and those kids also take piles of refurbished computers and networking equipment to Antigua, and they gift their time. They do this every year and networks some of the buildings and communities out there. We have culinary arts at Newport High School, all CTE credits. Dental careers at my campus gets a lab science and CTE, and again, always college credits in all of these. DigiPen art and animation, they get fine arts, art history, and a CTE. Game design, math and CTE, music and sound design. I mean, I didn't even think about music and sound design and what an incredible career that could be. This is not just video game music and sound. This can be applied to anything. Next time you're watching media, think about all the little sounds and pings and music and everything going on behind the scenes. This is an incredible career path. Game design programming, fire and EMS, they get the lab science, and then we have 3 nursing programs, and most recently I wrote several grants every year, and we have inserted $900,000 into those 3 programs to upgrade their simulation labs so that those kids really are experiencing what it's like in a true hospital or nursing home setting. We're going to need them. I'm 61. I would like people to take care of me. So, and then I'm really proud of this Maritime Core Plus welding. We have a maritime industry that is desperate for the next generation of workers. We like to say in our biz that the silver tsunami is happening, reference to water and all that. You know, that people are retiring, and there are not people coming to fill in those jobs. And as a person that lives on Orcas Island and uses the ferries, I need people, right? So it's all about me, really. Medical careers, they earn a lab science and a health credit, and that's at LW Tech, and then sports medicine down in Issaquah. And yeah, so we talked about college credits. They all earn college credits, and let's see. That's a really small, and I bet you can't even read that, but these are all the college credits that they can earn. And then again, the industry certifications that are available to them, and the CTSOs, or the student leadership organizations. It's really, really fun to take these kids out on their competitions and watch them shine. And it's really fun when they announce that a WANIC student has won first place or second place or third place. They get pretty excited. And again, here are some of the summer semester courses that we've offered in the past. I mean, if I was a student and looking at those, I think forensics would be kind of fun for a 3-week dive in, 7 hours a day. Criminal justice, STEM guitar building out in Duval. We do that every other year. They build an electric guitar start to finish in 13 days, and then they play it sometimes. So here I am at the end, and I guess now is the time for questions. Did I fit in my little, you didn't bring the hook out?
Yeah, I didn't bring in the hook, but well, I tell you, if you can hang around afterwards, we'll take questions after the meeting. Is that okay?
Yep.
Great. We're going to hold up right there. But I do want you to let you know, Dr. Schuh, thank you so very much. How about a round of applause? Alternative education, very important. Dr. Schuh, in your honor, we have given 3/4 of a ton of fresh produce to Harvest Against Hunger. Harvest Against Hunger, by the way, is a Rotary-led effort to address food insecurity. Now, Dr. Schuh's a Rotarian, so she understands this stuff. Secondly, though, I want to let you know you have demonstrated to us that you continually rise to the challenge of showing new opportunity to our favored kids. And because of that, you lift our community. Thank you so very, very much, Dr. Schuh. Great.
I'll end with my tagline. I like to say that a skill center is where our students can find their people, their place, their pathway, purpose, and their passion.
You wrapped it all. Thank you, Dr. Schuh.